This guy asked the question, what if Messi didn't win the World Cup back in Qatar in 2022? And this question to me has always been so fucking dumb for a multitude of reasons. Number one, because it's just flat out a stupid fucking question. Messi did win the World Cup, and you could literally play this silly game with any all-time great in the history of football, and I'll prove it to you right now. What if Zidane didn't win the World Cup back in 1998? What if R9 didn't win the World Cup back in 02? What if Maradona didn't win the World Cup back in 1996? What if John Terry doesn't slip in Moscow and Chelsea win that UCL and Man United don't win it and Ronaldo doesn't get his hands on his first UCL trophy? What if Eder doesn't score that goal against France to win Portugal the Euros and obviously Ronaldo the Euros back in 2016? What if Sergio Ramos doesn't score that header against Atletico Madrid back in 2014 to win Real Madrid La Décima? Again, I'm not trying to pick on Ronnie, but I'm using him as an example because he's the guy that people compare to Messi the most. To me, he's number 2. Obviously, Messi's number 1. So again, I'm proving to you, you can play this silly game with any player, including the second greatest of all time. We might as well take this question a step further and ask, what if Messi was aborted? What if Messi was never born? It's fucking dumb. And number 2, this question is so infuriating to me because it implies that Messi needed the World Cup to be considered the greatest of all time, which is the biggest misconception in the history of football because most smart football fans knew that Messi, prior to winning the World Cup, was already far and away clear of any player in the history of the game. The World Cup to me, for Messi, was just a cherry on top. It was just like a nice achievement to have towards the end of his career because he deserved it in my opinion because he's obviously the greatest of all time and that is the greatest trophy in the history of football. But this is a prime example as to why talking football now is so fucking stupid because most people only value your trophy cabinet. They don't actually look at a player and individually how good he is. They look at how many trophies did he win. And that is the worst way to analyze any player in the history of any sport because you got to look at the player individually. And like I said, Messi, prior to winning the World Cup, was far and away the best of all time. And with winning the World Cup, it just added more to already the greatest legacy of all time.